All right, so I want to take about 5 minutes and show you, I want to take a subject that's known for being very boring and show you how I try to get kids interested in it. So statistics are known for being boring, right? Which drives me nuts because there is the boring part of statistics, but if you combine it with the very interesting parts, kids can understand it more and they love it. So how we are lied to, cheated, and manipulated by statistics. I introduce it with a Dilbert cartoon. It's my favorite Dilbert cartoon about statistics. I didn't have any accurate numbers, so I just made up this one. Studies have shown that accurate numbers aren't any more useful than the ones you make up. How many studies showed that? 87? No? Hey? No. Now, this is a visual I want you to take home with you about what people try to do to you with statistics. Because statistics can be used properly for great good. But I won't say most of the time, but a lot of the time, statistics make things that are true look false and things that are false look true. And we have to show our kids how that's done. And they love that, too. So this here is the visual for that because you see square A and square B, they look very different in color. But the only reason they look different in color is what they're surrounded with. And that statistics are like that. How you present them makes something seem true that isn't. So watch as I cover up the surrounding squares of A and B. You don't believe they're very different, do you? They look very different. Look. They're exactly the same, but what they're surrounded with. Barely believable graphs. This is, I have high cholesterol and I eat a lot of oats. So Quaker Oats put this graph out in Newsweek magazine. And I was so excited because I'd never seen any data on, I just heard, have you seen the ad with the girl bringing her dad Honey Nut Cheerios? I mean, she's killing him. You know, all that sugar, you know, and she's acting like it's healthy. So, so I eat a lot of oats, I have high cholesterol, so I'd never seen the data, I just heard oats lower cholesterol. So I got this graph in Newsweek, put out by Quaker Oats, and it makes it look like in 4 weeks, cholesterol dropped about 75% with the visual. And boy, by week 6, I'll be in negative cholesterol, make up for all the bad years. So what am I not showing you in the graph? The numbers, the scale. And I teach students to always cover up the scale because I know if they cover it up, they'll look at it. And studies have shown most Americans look at the visual and not the scale. So very important. So when I undo the scale, instead of a 75% drop, it's a 4% drop. So very unfair graph. Now, this is why they put that kind of graph, because if you put a fair graph, this is what it looks like. Now, I want to put this in perspective because oats are healthy and 4% is better than nothing. But I looked at a study, a clinical trial of Crestor, which is a powerful statin. You've probably heard of it. Very powerful statin. And I wanted to see what the placebo did. I wanted to see what the control group did. And the control group, the placebo, lowered cholesterol 7%. So the message is oats are good, but placebos are even better. Dramatic achievement gains, we're all talking about achievement. So students are very interested in this. This is in my school district. I'm from Dubuque, Iowa. And we had a new superintendent come in. And from 1992, when she came in, to 1993, she was here a year. And these are percentile ranks. These are percentile ranks. So the light green is the previous year, and after she is there a year. These are our high socioeconomic schools. Dramatic improvement. Our low socioeconomic, still not great, but look what they started from. And this is comparing to other Iowa school districts. So is anyone suspicious? Okay, so the exercise in class I'll do, here's the data, you're the reporter, you need to ask the right questions. Because our newspaper didn't ask the right questions. Okay, ask a question. Yes?
What do the numbers on the left mean? What's the scale on
Okay, it's 0 to, it should be 99, but it's percentile rank. So they're fair on that.
How many students students were tested in 1992 and 1993?
Okay, now I can honestly say all students were tested. Okay, yes?
Was the assessment the same?
It was a new test that year, but again, we're comparing to other Iowa. It should be about the same. Yes, and back.
Percentile rank of what?
Compared to other Iowa students. Okay, you're not cynical enough.
How many actually passed the test?
Okay, there's no passing. There's no passing. It can be, yes, last one.
Same group of kids.
Oh, very good question. Very good question. I can honestly say as a superintendent, all kids were tested, but I kept all special ed kids in a separate cohort. Will you get dramatic improvement if you do that? Yes. So I like to do this investigation with students. They have to ask questions as journalists. Here's another one, and these are real things that have impacts. I forgot to tell you on this one, a new curriculum was used during this year, and it was touted around the country as making these kind of improvements. So it hurts students when you manipulate statistics. Okay, Section 8 housing and crime in Dubuque, Iowa. Section 8 housing, politicians pick on Section 8 housing. See, there's more crime associated with it. We've got to do something. The Housing Commission got fed up and said, we need to hire a research firm to study, see if there is excess crime Section 8 housing. They did that, and this is what happened. They broke the city up into renters from Section 8 housing, other rental units, non-Dubuque residents, and private homes. And here are the results of their study. They said, not only is Section 8 housing high crime, it's the lowest. Okay? It's the lowest, and here's a little graph to represent that. All right, the crimes in Dubuque, Section 8 housing, 17%, other rental units, 20%, 63%. The newspaper was about to print the happy news. Then they pulled the story at the last minute because somebody asked a good question. What is the question? Yes, and back.
What percent of housing in Dubuque is Section 8?
Is that important? Yes, the groups have to be the same to compare that. Do you think they were? They weren't. Here is the number of residents in each category. So Section 8 housing is a slight amount, so of course they're going to have lower crime. The only fair way to present these statistics, and they weren't done this way, is crimes per 1,000. And when you do it properly, look at... And now we know there's a problem, and we addressed it, and crime's gone way down, so you have to do it properly. Purposely fogging clarity. Two more, then I'm moving on. I like this quote. Some people use statistics as a drunken man uses lampposts for support rather than for illumination. And that's the key on statistics. They can't be for support. They have to be for illumination. Some statistics fog the truth. So here's the exercise. I'm making the claim men did not give up their lives for women during the sinking of the Titanic. Look at the statistics. So I'm making this claim, and the students have to refute this. Men who survived 332, women who survived 318. So the students have to say, does that answer the question? Or tell me, what do you want to know? Yeah. How many men were on the ship? What's a real, what is it?
What's the ratio?
What the ratio, okay. Or here's another simple one. How many men died and how many women died? You see, this is meant to fog the truth. This is meant to fog the truth. This is meant to illuminate the truth. Men who died 1,360, women who died 104. So your chances of dying if you're a man was 80%, 25% as a woman. So statistics are thrown around. You've got to pick out ones that are meant to fog the truth and ones that are meant to clarify it. All right, last one on statistics. Thank you for bearing with me. Not too many people left, so I always hate to start with statistics. All right, this one's worthy of an Einstein finger puppet. Okay, it's O.J. Simpson trial. You probably don't want to do this with third graders, but high school. The O.J. Simpson trial, the prosecution claimed he was a wife beater, and that led to death. The defense came out afterwards when they got to rebut the prosecution's argument and said, even if we give you he was a wife abuser, the statistics are clear. 1 in 2,500 men who abuse their wives end up killing them. So even if he was, it's a small chance. Now, the prosecution didn't answer that. So for an Einstein finger puppet, I want you to do a better job. This is an accurate statistic. But let me give you a hint. This statistic is one of the devilishly, it's brilliantly evil because it appears to be relevant and it's not. Okay? It appears to be relevant and it's not. So you tell me, what do you want to know? Yep. Okay, in the back?
That are unreported.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say, because a lot of it, that's domestic.
Okay.
Reported, is that-
Okay, no, I mean, that's all a little bit, but there's one dramatic answer to it. Why is this not relevant? That's what you have to look for. Yes?
I'm wondering what's the statistic for all men killing women,
Okay.
or killing their wives.
Oh, it's still, that's a little bit, but there's a dramatic one. Yes?
Well, what I wanted to know was, did he kill his wife?
Yeah, okay. Well, yep. Okay. All right. We're actually getting closer, but in the interest of time, I'm going to tell you. Now, this is not relevant because we don't have a hypothetical woman who's being abused and what are her chances of being killed. That's not the situation. What is the situation? She's already dead. She's been murdered. So if an abused woman is murdered, the statistic we want, what is the chance the abuser did it? Do you think it's 1 in 2,500? No, it's over 90%. Okay? So, all right. Again, this is what they do to you with statistics, so know how to be aware of that.